What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another video here in Chris's MMA Universe. For this video here, I'm going to be talking about UFC 240, which is Holloway versus Edgar. But I'm going to be talking about the main event and co-main event. And remember, UFC 240 takes place July 27th, only on pay-per-view. So, for this one here, I'm going to be talking about Edgar versus Holloway. You know, honestly, I believe Holloway is going to take the fight. I don't see Frankie Edgar beating Holloway whatsoever. I mean, he's just not the same fighter anymore. You know, he's a little older now. I know he's coming off a win, but it's just that I don't really see him beating Holloway. I just feel like Holloway's too quick. You know, he's too young. He's too crisp. You know, he's just going to take the W. I do believe Holloway is just going to, make this fight nasty, make it ugly. And I don't see Edgar being able to win. I just don't see Edgar, being his old self in there. I mean, all respect to Edgar. All respect to Frankie Edgar. He's a legend. He was the former lightweight champion, for those of you that don't know. He ended up beating BJ Penn for the championship, also defended it against BJ Penn. When they ended up having the immediate rematch. He also was able to knock out Gray Maynard when they fought for the third time. And, Frankie Edgar has beat the best of the best in there. I mean, he's been in there with the best of the best. It's just I don't see him being able to become the champion again. I don't see him beating Holloway. Holloway is just too smooth. Now, for those of you that don't know, Max Holloway did lose his last fight. He did lose his last fight, but it wasn't in the featherweight division, so he did not lose his belt. He lost against Dustin Poirier for the interim lightweight belt. So Max Holloway does kind of have the stench of loss on him. So I really do feel like, with the thing that he says and his slogan pretty much that he made up, that, in order to be the best, you got to beat the best, and the best is blessed. But for him being beaten in his last fight and his title not being taken, I do believe that woke him up. And I do believe that he is going to go in there with something to prove to everybody and all the fans and all the disbelievers, everybody who loves him, everybody who hates him. He's going to go in there with something to prove, and I believe he is going to take it to Frankie Edgar. I do not see Edgar winning this fight whatsoever. Like I said, all respect to Edgar, but I do not see Edgar going in there and pulling the W. I mean, he's too old. I do believe that he's, very past his prime. And I believe, Holloway is probably not even in his prime yet, and he's only getting better. Yes, he did lose to Dustin Poirier. I do understand that, but that was at a different weight class. Dustin Poirier was way too big for him. And he actually caught, Poirier with some pretty good shots. You know what I mean? Like where Poirier said himself after that fight, where he felt like the fight was slipping away, but then he ended up, just taking the fight. He ended up pulling the W. But, he said that fight was tough. I know a lot of fighters say that, but for sure, Max Holloway was there. Max Holloway was in that fight the entire time. I do not see Max Holloway losing to Frankie Edgar. I believe it's going to be a great fight. I really do believe that. But I believe Max Holloway is going to finish Frankie Edgar. I do not see Frankie Edgar winning this fight at all. I know I keep saying that, but I really do believe this. Frankie Edgar is past his prime. Like I said, he's just I would say a shell of his former self. He's still there. He's still hungry. He still wants it. But I don't see him beating Max Holloway. Max Holloway would definitely pull this W, and I believe it's going to be by a late TKO or just a late referee stoppage. And, I hope you guys tune in to watch the fight. I'm definitely going to watch the fight. I'm hoping for a great fight, but I do see Max Holloway winning this fight. And for the next fight here that I'm going to talk about, like I said, is the co-main event, which is Cris Cyborg versus Felicia Spencer. Now, for this fight here, I also believe that Cris Cyborg has something to prove. I mean, she lost her last fight to Amanda Nunes in like a 51-second knockout which was something so special to see. But, you know, I'm not going to get on Amanda Nunes right now. This video is not about her. But it is about Chris Cyborg versus Felicia Spencer. And I do believe Chris Cyborg is going to take it to Felicia. I do not see Felicia winning the fight against Chris. Chris has something to prove as well in this pay-per-view. And I do believe she is going to beat Felicia Spencer. And I see it being done in round 1. I do see this just being stopped in round 1 with Chris Cyborg just taking it to Felicia. Chris Cyborg is still here. You know, she's still young. She's still hungry. She's still here. It's just, you know, she got stopped by Amanda Nunes because Amanda Nunes is just something else. You know, she's just something so special. And, you know, Amanda Nunes is the GOAT in women's MMA, period. And she's one of the greatest fighters, period. So you can't really take that away. Like, you know, I mean, Chris Cyborg is not like she's washed up or anything like that. She's still here, you know? So that just shows how good Amanda Nunes is. But Chris Cyborg, I think, is going to stop Felicia Spencer in round 1. I do really believe that. I think she's going to go in there with something to prove, with her brute strength and just her, you know, just her, like, precision technique. I do believe she is going to take it to her, and it's just going to be done in round 1, you know? But if you guys enjoy my content, please make sure to subscribe, hit that like button, share, comment. I really want to know what you guys think of this pay-per-view here. And I'll see all you guys in the next one.